Well, thank you for coming tonight. How many have never been on the top of Neutaconkanut Hill? Oh my goodness, you're in for a treat. You're definitely going to go. Okay, I have an old friend in the audience here. But you've all heard about it. You're familiar with it. Okay. Our conservancy is relatively small. It's very small. Okay, we have been working for 7 years, quietly, very quietly. In the past, there was some, what we considered to be very precious land that was sold. The land is zoned conservancy, but that doesn't mean that it cannot be sold. What a few of us who are in the neighborhood found, I had moved away and then came back into Silver Lake, and what we found was, as delicately as we could put it, a pretty big dumping ground that was relatively unsafe. And so very quietly the group came together. We worked with and through the Parks Department and got a couple of grants. And what we have now is really a very safe, beautiful, pristine forest. The only natural forest in Providence, the highest spot in Providence. The beginning of our city and our state. It is the land used, here I go with my hands, I have Italian heritage, you'll have to forgive me. Okay. When Roger Williams and the two Narragansett sachems stood down by the State House, if you will, at the cove, and they stretched their hands out, they used the great hill of Neutaconkanut as the boundary of the land, so that this is indeed the beginning of our city and our state. We were here about a year ago, Grayce,
yeah.
And our presentation at that point was bringing you from the undesirable to the desirable. It was what this unique, extraordinary, small group accomplished. And tonight, Helen, who kind of walked with us one day, she's not from Silver Lake, she's from Barrington, okay? And she walked with us one day and looked at the top of the hill with a different eye. And she's gotten me all excited about this. She's been doing this for over a year on the hill now. But she's taught this old woman how to begin to read rocks, and it's very interesting. So I thank you for coming here this evening again, and I wish to introduce you to Helen because she has, I think, a very exciting presentation for you tonight.
May I just say one thing? Be sure to turn your cell phones off or put them on buzz, please. And for exits, there's an exit around the corner and down, just in case we ever need it. And the stairway to my right and the stairway to my left to the upstairs, okay? And thank you, Elli. Helen Tjader has volunteered with many local land trusts to protect conservation lands in Rhode Island. As Elli told you, she's with Barrington. And her protection efforts have led to both historic research and stewardship work. I love the word stewardship. It's so important. Being out, and to quote her, being out on the land is the only way to begin to appreciate our special places. And Neutaconkanut is one of her favorite places. Go for it, Helen.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. This is my first chance to finally make this presentation, but Neutaconkanut is one of my favorite places, and I've been collecting these photos and noticing things, and every time I go out on the hill I notice something more, and I enjoy walking with other people because they'll notice things that I don't notice. But the reason for the presentation is to encourage everyone that sees this to spread the word about Neutaconkanut, to help us find a way to work together to protect Neutaconkanut, because there's some portions of the hill that have important features that are privately owned. There are portions that really are so important to the state history that I hope you will get involved with the Conservancy and help them. In fact, there's information in the back when you're done, because there are lots of roles. There's going to be an Earth Day project this coming Saturday. But if you get on their email list, you'll get notified when there's going to be another guided hike at the hill. And so I really encourage you. That's a great way if you're haven't been there before and want to take the kids and get oriented, or the grandkids. That's a great experience to go on a guided hike. There is a trail map online that you can use at any time to go visit the hill. And you just go to nhill.org. You don't have to spell it or even say Neutaconkanut. And you can download a PDF trail map, a very nicely made trail map to take you on your adventure at the hill. Distant horizon line. There's a lot of trees on the hill now, but it's eye-catching even with the trees. Neutaconkanut is an oasis in the big city. It's the last wild place in Providence. You can see how the city is built up around it, and in fact, we've been told by Ranger John McNiff that chances are the two roads that veer to go around Neutaconkanut Hill were formed based on Indian trails. And so here you are, you're at Neutaconkanut, you're in the middle of the city. Whoops, go back. And there you are, it's a sunny day, and look how far you can see. You can see Providence. This is a sunny summer day, and the rocks and the views are dramatic. So that alone makes it worth it to go to the top of the hill.